What is the phenomenon of cloudburst? Explain. This is the question that has been asked in the geography part. See here, the question asks simply one thing. What is the phenomenon of cloudburst? Explain. You need to define what is cloudburst and what are the factors responsible for the cloudburst and what are the places where it is getting occurred. And you need to conclude with a better way forward what we need to do to reduce the amount of cloudburst impact on the humans. Now, when you try to introduce the question, you can directly start with the definition of the cloudburst. The introduction part, you can start directly with the definition of cloudburst. What did IMD, the Indian Meteorological Department, has given the definition of the cloudburst? You can start with the definition. The cloudburst is a phenomenon where the rainfall can reach up to 100 mm or 10 centimeters. 100 mm or 10 centimeters within a span of 1 hour in a localized area with the square kilometers of 20 to 30 square kilometers. 20 to 30 square kilometers of area will be covered within 1 hour, that too with the rainfall of 100 mm or 10 centimeters. This is the definition given by the IMD. Then how can you quote the examples? For example, the Ladakh in 2014. You can see this cloudburst which has occurred in Ladakh. And you can also include in the introduction what are the places where the cloudburst actually occurs. The major places being the Himalayas and Western Ghats. Himalayas and Western Ghats. And it will actually occur during the July to August time. The July to August time is the time where this actually occurs, cloudburst. This is the introduction which you can write for this sort of questions. Now when you go to the phenomenon, of cloudburst, what is the phenomenon behind the cloudburst? The first condition which you need to quote is the orographic gradient along with the temperature gradient. Orographic gradient along with the temperature gradient. Orographic gradient and temperature gradient. How can you show it visually? You need to show these sort of things visually. What is orographic uplift? You consider this is a mountain and there is the warm winds which are coming. It can be from an ocean, it can be from the land which has captured the moisture. When there is orographic uplift, then it will try to uplift and it will get saturated. This is called orographic gradient and temperature gradient. Now when it gets uplifted, there is a formation of clouds. The clouds which are called the cumulonimbus clouds. Cumulonimbus clouds, which are the large clouds present. And when this sort of cumulonimbus clouds keeps on growing along with the gradient, along with the height of the mountain, then it becomes so large and at one point of time, it bursts like anything. This is called orographic gradient or the temperature gradient. Now, this is the first condition which needs to be there for the cloudburst. Then second conditions. There should be low vertical wind shear. Low vertical wind shear means there should not be any vertical winds which disturbs. If there are any vertical winds which are disturbing the formation of the clouds, automatically there cannot be formation of clouds. That's why there should be no vertical wind which is disturbing this formation. That's where the conditions comes for the formation of cloudburst. You can explain this through this diagram along with writing some points. Now, for the recent example being the Amarnath Yatra in 2022. Amarnath Yatra 2022, the floods has occurred because of the cloudburst phenomenon. You see the Himalayas or the Western Ghats have the natural orographic uplift, which can lead to the formation of clouds. This is the phenomenon of cloudburst. Now, when you try to conclude this question, you need to write down there should be better weather forecasting, along with this, you need better disaster management policies for cloudburst. Better disaster management policies for the cloudburst to reduce the impact of the cloudburst. We also have the National Disaster Management Plans, which talks about cloudburst also. And IMD has been taking special care in predicting this cloudburst. Because it can trigger a landslide, it can trigger a mudslide also. That's why cloudburst has been given so importance by the prediction IMD. So this is how you need to answer this question, called the phenomenon of cloudburst, and explain it. So this is how we need to answer it.